What's happening, Black Healing Matters family? This is Danielle here at the Black Healing Matters podcast, where we offer you ideas to hopefully move you one step closer to your healing. And it is a wonderful Monday here. I hope you're having a good one. Happy Monday to you. And, as we close out the weekend, get the week started off right, hope you're having a good one, well rested and ready for the week to come. And so on this Monday, here on the Black Healing Matters podcast, it is Mindset Monday. Yes, Mindset Monday, where we delve into a particular mindset or paradigm shift, if you will, that we know will be helpful to the Black community. And so today we're going to talk about this mindset shift between these two very different schools of thought, if you will, and one of which I believe is unfortunately more prevalent in our communities than the other. So let's see if you can recognize it. So one side is solutions oriented. The other side may be complaint oriented. For example, one might say, why is there no stores or restaurants in our area? And the other one might say, how can I make or create some stores or restaurants in our area? So you can see one is focused on complaining. The other one is focused on solutions. And so what I'm talking about here is really comes down to what I see as an independent versus a codependent type of relationship or mindset, if you will. Independent versus codependent. And so what that looks like is for an independent mindset, an independent person or independent person with an independent mindset is looking for solutions. They're looking for ways to make things better themselves because they believe that they have the power in themselves. They're independent so that they can actually effectuate change. On the other hand, someone who may be codependent may look for a reason to complain or blame the problem or somebody else to blame it on, and then subsequently wait for somebody else to fix the problem instead of actually feeling self-empowered enough to even think about tackling the problem themselves. And unfortunately, the latter is sometimes what we see in our communities. I think there's no question about it. Our people have been disenfranchised and truly mistreated is an understatement, and downtrodden in many ways. But that's no reason for us where we are right now in the 21st century to continue to be dependent on the dominant society for the things that we need and the changes that we need to see. This can take many forms and shapes. And after now we having this conversation, you may start to see this mindset in the behavior and actions of many people. For example, you might see this in regards to problems with education. I've heard many complaints about some people complain about how the school systems are inadequate. Rather, instead of actually thinking about ways to improve the school system, on the other hand, again, that would be the independent mindset. As I mentioned before, people complain about the lack of businesses or opportunities in their area instead of thinking about how to create opportunities. I'm not saying you have to have the answers, but at least putting ourselves in that mindset gets us so much closer. Because if you know anything about the law of attraction, you know that what you think about and what you focus on is what you get more of, and you're attracted to it. And so if we're thinking about the lack of opportunities and the lack of education and the poor conditions and the poor state of our facilities, then obviously that's what we get more of, right? But if we're considering, okay, how can we build and build better facilities, or what would be the way to create opportunities, or how can we figure out a way to again create solutions in our own communities and in our own lives? This is a huge shift, and I believe this shift alone can be a dynamic change in our people in general, in all people really. But I see this really, especially in our communities, where a lot of times we feel like all we can really do is just kind of survive off of what we've been given. And I believe that has its roots in, in our in that slave mentality of really just kind of having to live off of whatever was afforded to us and accept it happily. But of course, now in the 21st century, we do have the power to change those things. And many of us are just letting that power lay dormant, waiting for somebody else to pick up the baton. We see the problems, we see the issues, but not many of us are actually even in the mindset. I'm not saying you got to go out and lead a movement or change the world, but at least putting yourself in that mindset will allow you to get closer to where you want to be. Okay? So in closing, I will say, Black Healing Matters family, be the solution that you seek. It all starts with us, with you. Okay? And don't forget to dream big. There's nothing wrong with it. It costs the same as dreaming small. So you might as well dream big, all right? Get all that you want out of this. All right, Black Healing Matters family, let me know if this resonates with you. Do you find that this is a prevalent issue in our community? If so, what are some of the ways that you find this independent versus codependent mentality popping up in our community, and how can we begin to combat it? If you have any ideas or solutions, please do call in. Okay, if you're here on Anchor, in the Anchor community, call into the station and leave me a message, and I'll definitely call you back. Okay, as well, you can get on the Facebook page, Black Healing Matters, or YouTube, leave a comment, as well as SoundCloud. And last but not least, good old-fashioned email, blackhealingmatters@gmail.com. And on that note, Black Healing Matters family, you know I love you. Stay blessed. And as always, Black Healing Matters.
The podcast you just heard was recorded with Anchor. If you want to make your own, download the Android or iOS app completely free from anchor.fm/podcast. That's anchor.fm/podcast.